Accountability. Factor.
Hi.
Hi. Are you going to go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see my stuff.
Yeah. We're heading to my parents tomorrow, so they're like bouncing off the wall, so excited.
I'm crazy.
Aww.
So,
I love you.
So Cheryl, are you going to have to work through Thanksgiving?
I get Thanksgiving off, and then I always take Black Friday off. Well, because usually if my kids are here, my middle daughter doesn't really like Black Friday shopping, but my youngest did, but she won't be here. So I don't know if I'll be Black Friday shopping, but I usually am exhausted from the day and sleep extra on Friday. But Saturday is my Saturday to work.
Oh.
So I have to go in to work from 8 to 4 on Saturday.
Do you think it'll be really busy?
Normally not. So we'll see. I could it's just one of those. It's my turn.
I have to work on Saturday too. I get Friday off because I'm working Saturday. I don't normally work Saturday.
Well, I'll get the following Friday off because I work Saturday.
Yeah, that's how we do it too.
So but I only work every 8th Saturday, so.
That's not too bad.
No, but you figure I work 7 to 6. Well, we're open from 7 to 6 Monday through Friday. So I do that plus then on that 8th week, the additional Saturday. So that's a lot of hours.
That is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I work 10-hour days every day.
Yeah.
That gets old.
I've been doing it for so many years. I've been with the company for it'll be 19 years in March. So.
Wow. A long time. I was at my last job for 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay, have we got the exam up? Yep. Chiropractor. Okay.
So we should have stopped. Yeah.
Oh, I just put the chiropractor Excel stuff into the spreadsheet, and now I scroll down and it's doing something totally different.
I know. I was doing the same thing, and I'm like, oh, now I got to do male and female, or female and male. So I'll do that really quick. See if I can put in these numbers.
So you're just leaving each one in the columns they're in?
Yeah.
Do we put the total? I don't think we put the total. Do we?
No, because we're using the chi, aren't we? The chi-square?
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, you don't put the totals in because they get carried down already.
Right, so we just put the male and female.
Right.
And then the 3 different ones?
Right.
Well, no,
make sure
there's 3 columns.
Right. Make sure you delete the information in the 4th column.
Right. I just forget that.
And across in the 3rd row.
Okay, so which set of hypotheses is appropriate for addressing the research question? My favorite. Number
So
3.
it says, do men's voting preference differ significantly from women's voting preferences? Oh, so this was independent
And not dependent.
and not dependent.
So is it the last one then?
Yes.
Okay. What is the equation for computing the degrees of freedom?
Oh, I know. He did that. So your columns, it was on the video. So you have male and female. So you have 2. So the first one is well, I guess he's got it rows. So we have the rows. We have 3 minus 1. So the number of rows minus 1, and the number of columns minus 1.
And then you times those. So it's the last one.
And then you times them.
I think that was one of the questions that I missed, and I did it right, and I don't know why it was wrong on the homework quiz.
In the video, some of the things that they said were that the degrees of freedom wasn't coming up right on the Excel sheet, and so he went over in the video how to calculate the degree of freedom so that way when you look at I said it wrong, the square test, that it's correct, and it says our degree of freedom is 2, which 2 minus 1 is 1, and 3 minus 1 is 2, so 1 times 2 is 2.
It's 2. But that was a question on the homework quiz, and I missed it, and I don't know what I did wrong. So
maybe you just put the number of rows times the columns. Maybe you didn't put the minus 1.
I did.
Huh.
Yeah, I did. Anyway, I'll have to go back and look at it. So what is the correct choice of 4 degrees of freedom DF for this problem? So it's 2. Right?
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
2.
Because 2 times 1 is 2.
So it's not greater than 5.
It has to be at least 5.
Right.
Yep.
But it's 2.
Oh, I was reading the next question. Sorry.
Right. Are the requirements for conducting x squared test for the independence met by this data set?
So it would be no, there's not enough rows, right?
No, that's not what it's.
It's not the rows, it's
The
That's not what it's asking
expected
about.
counts are at least 5 in each cell.
Oh, then there are.
The requirement that the expected counts are at least 5 in each cell are met.
That's right. So it would be A.
So which cells are we looking at?
The 250, 200, 300, 150, 50, and 50. Did you put the numbers in the Excel spreadsheet under chi-square test? For voting preferences?
So what is x squared though?
That's the chi-squared, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Is it chi or chi?
It's chi.
Oh.
It's chi, but then it also said chi somewhere too, so I don't know.
Well, he said everybody says chi, but it's chi.
So which one is the chi number? I mean, it doesn't have it has a 16. Is it a test statistic, 16.204?
I'm gonna go back and look.
Yeah.
Three. I believe it's a test statistic, but I just want to verify that.
Yeah, it is.
So X square is the T statistic.
Yeah, the test statistic.
So it's not the numbers in the rows, it's the expected count that needs to be greater than 5. So we look in our spreadsheet, and they are, but we have to look at the expected, the 270, 270, and 60, the 180, the 180, and the 40. Not where we put in the information, and it's still more than 5.
Oh, excited. Okay, I see. I was trying to figure out where that was.
Yeah, it's the expected count.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the value of x2? There you go. I need to pull that up now.
So that's that test statistic, right?
Yeah, I need to find that. So that would be 16.204. Right?
Correct.
What is the p-value of this problem? 0.003.
No,
Hey,
0.000.
What'd you put
Oh,
for
0,
the what'd you guys put for 7?
7 is 16.204.
You values all point zeros.
Yep. So which of the following statements best describes the outcome of the study? So the
So it's
p-value
0.003 or 0.0003, so it's definitely
less
smaller.
than our alpha.
So there's sufficient evidence.
To suggest that gender and voting preferences are independent.
And what was HO? Or that was HO?
Wait, let me see.
HO was,
Voting preferences are independent, voting preferences are not independent is our alternative hypothesis.
so if it's less than, I have to look again. If it's less than, do we fail to reject?
Yeah, we fail to reject. If it's
So if we fail to reject, then wouldn't it be that they're not independent? Or are we failing to reject the alternative hypothesis?
you fail to reject the null.
So
The null
we're
is
saying the null is gender and voting preferences are not independent. So
No, that's the alternative.
no, that is HO. If you look up, HA is gender voting preference. Oh, I wrote it backwards.
Right?
Oh, I looked at the wrong one. You're right.
So, oh, I hate these.
I know.
So it would be gender and voting preferences are independent
It
then.
doesn't fit. It needs,
Independent.
what are you trying to charge?
The case for your iPad.
So it'd
Okay.
be the last one then.
Sorry, I'm doing two things. I will see if I can find the charger for that.
Alright,
Okay?
I was just wondering.
No, it has to fit if it doesn't fit,
Alright.
if it doesn't, it's got a really small.
Yeah.
So I'll look and see what I can find, okay, when I'm done with my homework.
When I'm done with my homework.
So
I never heard my parents say that ever.
I know.
Or my
So
grandparents.
So we're saying that it's E, the bottom one. There is sufficient evidence to suggest that gender voting preferences are independent.
Independent. I could be wrong, but
That's what I said.
okay.
No, I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the top one. I wasn't looking at what we marked as the HO and HA.
Okay.
That's the only reason I had went for the top one, because if you read the top one, it would be A. If you do the bottom one, which we chose, then it's the bottom one here. Okay. So now we got to put in,
More numbers.
oh, I wondered how they wanted this written in here.
Well, and then there's that then we have that Excel sheet.
Yeah, this is the Europe one. Or this is the chiropractic one. But it lists here how they want it, so I'm just going to take it off the test.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
I can type right.
So do people in Europe, Australia, and the United States seek chiropractic care for the same reasons? Okay, so let's see if our expected numbers are above 5.
Oh, I'm still typing them in. You're fast.
Just copy and paste, and then when you go to paste, there's a clipboard that shows
Oh, I just took it off
columns
the,
being moved.
I took it off the test.
See how you are.
So we got 2 times 4 is 8. So our degree of freedom is correct if you have 8.
Well, but are the conditions for conducting a chi-square test in independence satisfied? And they would be, because all those expected numbers are more than 5, right?
Right, and I just wanted to make sure though that I put in my numbers right.
Oh, okay. So you have degrees of freedom is 10?
8.
I have 10.
I have 8.
I got 8.
Oh,
I have
crap.
8.
What did I do wrong?
Do you have an extra
Did you-
column?
Did you put in totals?
When
Let
you
me
changed
see.
it,
Oh, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You have 5 and 3 columns.
Oh, you know why? Because I put in the totals in the last column. That's not right. Okay, I have 8.
That's
that's what
what
caused confusion.
I put in the totals as the 6th column. But they're still satisfied. Okay, so 8 on that one. The X value is 7.436, right?
Yeah, that's what I have.
Now the p-value is 0.4904, 0.490.
Yes.
correct.
Okay. So p-value is still less than our alpha of, no, it's
More than.
more than.
More than.
So we have to reject the null
So there's insufficient evidence.
to suggest motivation to, let me see. Let's look up on top. Chiropractor is not, Reject the null. So we have to do chiropractor are independent. Okay, that's not an option.
Nope. There's sufficient evidence to suggest that self-care is the best reason for visiting a chiropractor. There is not enough evidence to suggest that people in the United States go to the chiropractor more than people in other countries.
Isn't it 3?
I
There's
would think
sufficient evidence to
Mhm.
suggest that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not independent of the location.
Because we know that it's not
Correct,
independent.
that would be the null,
No.
or that would be the alternative.
Yes, that's
Right.
the alternative.
Yeah, because we rejected
And so
the
we're, right, so we're accepting, so the HA is location and motivation to visit chiropractors are not independent.
We can't possibly be done already.
Yeah.
I know.
What?
Easy ones again.
We haven't had one of those in a
Alt
while.
sense of security.
That's just the calm before the storm next week.
But I was thankful to hear that from now on, the week that we have a test, we will not have a lesson.
That's good.
So we
We
don't have a
got
lesson
our-
next week?
We
No.
got 9 and 14 wrong.
9 and 14.
Are they the 2 questions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I suck. I'm so bad. I'm sorry.
Because we did E.
Those ones always get me. I thought for sure that was right.
Yeah.
Then it must be, but it is independent for 9, right?
I'm wondering if 9 is the third one. There's not enough evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent.
Okay,
Because
so
it has to be sufficient evidence, so.
if it's less than, I gotta go look at my cheat sheet. That's the only way I ever get this right. Is to go look at my notes on this. Oh, and I made notes last night.
Is it number 1? There is sufficient
that-
evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent.
Okay, so if it's less than, we reject the null. So the first one
We rejected it.
rejected it, and the null was, let me go back up and see what the null was.
Null is usually the first variable and the second variable are independent, and the seconds usually they're not independent.
Right.
So
And
the null
so-
is not independent.
The null
So
is, there's insufficient evidence that,
So it would have to be independent, right? Because we rejected the null. Oh,
Saying that they're
I'm
not
sorry. We
independent.
rejected the alternative. Wait a second.
Yeah, we failed to reject the null.
No, we failed to reject the null because it was less than the alpha, right?
Yeah.
so that would mean they're not independent.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be 1? There's sufficient evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. I think I'm messing myself up. Don't listen to
Okay,
me.
so if it's less than, we have enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis and accept the claim. A smaller p-value
isn't it?
indicates the evidence against the null hypothesis.
So if you reject
the null.
the hypothesis, then you have to have sufficient evidence.
So if it's
What-
large, there's not enough evidence. If it's small, there is enough evidence.
But in the preparation G, let's see, it's
I think it's
do you reject the null hypothesis or fail to reject? So this one has a p-value that's definitely less than the alpha, and we rejected the hypothesis because p-value is smaller, and then we have sufficient evidence to suggest that the party affiliation are not independent. So if
So
we
it'd be
reject
A.
it, it's not independent.
So it's A, right?
I
Correct.
think it have to be A. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
And so the other one would have to be, we have insufficient
We have
evidence.
insufficient evidence to say that they are
It's
dependent,
not,
right?
Wait,
No,
No, that's not. Well, the null
There's-
hypothesis
well, because
was
look at the question again, what they're asking us.
location and motive to visit chiropractors are not independent is the HA. Did we accept the HO? Because it's over, correct? We accepted the HO, which is location and the motivation to visit chiropractors are independent. And
I
that
okay,
thought
was
we rejected the null. Didn't we reject the null?
we had to,
Right,
we
4,
rejected.
5. We failed to reject the null because
No,
it's
we
point.
have to, yep.
Oh, no. Yeah, because it's over. We failed to reject the null. So that means the null is true. The null being.
And we have to have insufficient evidence if we fail to reject it.
So look at the last one. There is not enough evidence to suggest that people in the United States go to the chiropractor more than people in other countries. They're saying it's either where you live is your motivation or where you live is not your motivation.
Okay, so when we fail to reject the null, it says there's not a lot of evidence to suggest.
It's either independent, that there's location and motivation together, or there's not, or they're not independent. Like where you live is the reason, is motivation for you to go to the chiropractor. So we're saying. Are rejecting the null or failing to reject?
We fail to reject because it's greater than the alpha of
Don't we
0.05.
reject the null when it's greater?
No, we rejected the first one.
It has to be greater than 5.
And it's greater than 0.05.
It is greater, so we
It is.
fail to
Right?
reject it.
No, I thought if it was. I'm confused.
No, if you reject
Okay.
the null,
If the p-value is less, we reject the null. If the p-value is more, we keep the null.
Oh,
So
yeah.
more. So we're
Yeah.
going to keep HO, location and motivation to visit a chiropractor are independent. And because the number is large,
Because we were looking at there's sufficient evidence to suggest that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not.
but we have to have insufficient evidence because we failed to reject the null.
Yeah.
So yeah, or that one is there's insufficient
There is
evidence
not-
to suggest
right.
that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not independent of the location.
I feel like they have these weirded really weird.
so you think it's B.
It's either B or D. But I've never seen not enough evidence. It either says sufficient or insufficient. I've never seen not enough. Are they
Well,
just throwing it out there?
Seeing how D says there's not enough evidence to suggest that people in the United States go to the chiropractor more than other countries, that's not the question. The hypothesis is location and motivation. So it can't be D because that's not what our test is about. Because D says there's not enough evidence to suggest that people in the United States go to the chiropractor more than people in other countries.
I
And
think
the
two's the only other one it can be wording wise, since 3 was
And
not.
seeing how the HA is location and motivation to visit a chiropractor are not dependent. It has nothing to do with states. It's just saying, you know, Well, it does have to do with states, but
I'm submitting it. See what
I think
happens.
it's B.
It's B. I just submitted. It's the second one. Insufficient evidence to suggest that motivation to visit the chiropractor is not independent of the location. So it's the second one.
Gosh, guys, we got that done early and quick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we're gonna work on our gravestone thing over the weekend. Next weekend.
Right.
Oh, we're meeting on Tuesday though, right?
Monday.
Are we still
Monday.
doing Monday?
Monday? Oh,
Monday.
that's right. We agreed
Yes.
on Monday. Do we have a lesson on Monday?
No, we have the study for the test. Because
And we
the-
have to still meet and do the practice or whatever, the practice test.
Yes.
Because we have no chapter next week, just the exam.
Just, yeah.
And then we
have an
said we
exam
might
and a
work.
lesson. But this week we just have the exam.
Thank goodness.
So I want to make sure I understand what I'm supposed to be doing on our project, because I'm supposed to be doing step 3, right?
Just collect data.
I think mine is the second to the last one. And then I think Lydia's doing the PowerPoint, right?
Mine's the last one, unless it was changed. Was it changed?
Oh, is it you?
Mine
So
was
how
the
are-
last one.
I guess my question would be is how are we submitting our data? Because
So what we're going
so
to
I have
Jeremy
all my
was going to
data.
start up a Google Docs. We need to start putting the data into.
But what I'm saying is, so am I putting for the Excel sheet that we're all putting the information in for it to work? I don't think it's going to work in PowerPoint. I think we have to fill it out first.
Yeah.
So someone needs to
But it's
combine all
something-
the data.
The PowerPoint's the last part of it. It's the presentation of it after we've gathered
Right.
it.
Remember that whoever is assigned, you're just over that section, as in you make assignments, we still work together, but you're the one that's kind of running how it's going.
So
And
that's
what's
what I
going
was saying. So who's taking all the data to put into the, I want to say Avon, Anon, whatever, that sheet. So if I have my 40 ages and you have your 40 ages,
Whose responsibility was that? I don't remember.
Let's-
well, I was
Go
gonna
look at
He's
it.
got it on Google Docs
I
here.
was gonna pull it up and see,
That
because I
was-
don't know that had a,
Here, he's got to design the study sent to our Gmail account.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's got it in there.
let's see if I can find,
Okay, so I'm doing take action.
I can't find, oh, I guess it's the other window.
What
Yeah,
is
I'm the PowerPoint.
Yep. So collect the data, everyone. Describe the data is Lydia.
That's
Make
really where we're at.
inferences using-
Yes. This
That's
week.
where we're at, yeah. And I'm take action, and then Lo, you've got the PowerPoint.
Mhm.
We're good.
Now I just want to know so, main writer of make inference.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, I can close it, shut that off.
Okay.
Hang on, because I had way too many screens open. Again, I can't find you.